Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we are going to be talking about the solo strategy for Urost, the Soul Cage, taking down the hardest Scarab in the Doom Tower, the hard level 90 Scarab, a very important boss to be able to farm. So we're going to go over a fun build that is able to solo it in about 4 or 5 minutes on the hardest version of the fight. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, let's do a quick refresher course on the kit here for Urost, the Soul Cage. We've got an HP scaling champion that is going to have an A1 that's going to attack one enemy and place a shield buff on himself equal to 10% of his own max HP for 2 turns, and the shield will increase by 1% for each poison on the target. So this can easily become a 14-15% shield based on his HP that he's constantly placing him on himself with the A1. The A2 is going to be an AoE that can be booked to a 3-turn cooldown. We can also get it to a 100% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 15% as long as enemies are under 1 poison. If they are under 2 poisons, you're going to place the decreased speed. And if they are under 3 or more poisons, we've got a chance to place the stun that can be booked up to 100% as well. And this will also have a synergy with Rion the Conjurer to go ahead and activate it instantly when they are revived. Then we've got the A3 that is going to be booked to a 3-turn cooldown to place Strengthen on all allies and an ally protection buff on everyone but himself. Obviously, you won't want to place that on yourself if you're going to be ally protecting everybody else. But the passive here is what is going to make him have insane utility for not only doing the Scarab solo, but doing it super fast, because the very first part of this here, you can book this up to a 75% chance of placing a poison debuff on the attacker for not just 1 turn, but 2 turns. So every time he gets attacked by the Scarab, we've got lots of chances to place the poison back on the Scarab to slowly whittle it down. Then we've also got whenever an ally is attacked under a strengthen buff that he does place, he can also place a provoke on the attacker. That's not going to be relevant for this fight, but this next part, increase this champion's max HP by 5% whenever an enemy receives damage from a poison debuff that was placed by this champion. There is a caveat down below: cannot decrease a single champion's max HP by more than 25% in one battle, and will not decrease the boss's max HP. So that won't work for like the destroy set proc on the Scarab, unfortunately, but also cannot increase the champion's max HP by more than 50%. So that will be the maximum bonus he can get from those poison proccing the effect of increasing max HP. So I know that got a little bit wordy, but basically all you have to know is when he gets hit, he's going to be placing poisons on the Scarab, which is going to help you be able to speed farm the Scarab and get that HP whittled down super fast. The passive is what unlocks that utility. He does also have an ally resist in all battles by 80. Not super relevant in this fight. We don't really need him to have resist at all, as you will see when we go over the full build. And he's actually got pretty good base stats. The 24.5k HP means you can scale him up to really get some value out of the whole utility of his kit. The attack does not matter at all, might as well be 0. And the defense is decent at 1167. The speed is not super fast, it's 95, which is kind of low for a Void Legendary. But the cool thing about this build is we don't really need speed, and you'll see all of the stats here in a little bit. The resistance of 50 base is very good. The 10 accuracy is it's a little bit disappointing. Would have been nice to have 20 on a Legendary, but at least it's not 0. So, okay, let's head on over to the Scarab that I've got built, and I will get you the infographic for what you're going to need to know about the stats you're looking for, the sets, the masteries, and everything you need. Alrighty, so here is the Urost I've got built to be my Scarab farmer, and don't worry, I have got you guys right here. This is what you really want. I've got the infographic showing the full build. That will be down below, linked for you in the pinned comment if you want to be able to pull this up and take a look on your own time if you are building yours, just to kind of see a breakdown of what I was wearing, what mine looked like, the masteries, some of the sets you're going to want to consider putting on this guy, and then the stats goal that you are looking for. The cool thing about this build, like I said, is we just need HP, defense, and accuracy. He can be basically any speed. It's fine. A little bit more might help you if you're struggling to stay alive, because he'll get more A1s in to place more shield, get more turns to regenerate more HP, but really not. You can pull off versions of it that are low speed pretty realistically. Defense, you get like 3.5k. And then get that HP up as high as you can while getting enough accuracy down below over there to make sure you're landing the poisons that you need to whittle down that HP. So you can see I just went with a bunch of immortal gear and stacking as much HP as I can get my hands on. A little bit of defense does not hurt. So on your bottom 3 pieces, you can go like 2 pieces of HP, 1 piece of defense, and you should be totally fine. Just depends on, like, as long as you're hitting those thresholds, getting a decent amount of defense while getting that HP up as high as possible, you should be good. Accuracy banner probably going to be needed. It'll help you make sure you can hit the thresholds while landing debuffs, but if you can hit it without that, great. Crit damage, you could also, you don't need to do that. I could go with like an HP amulet, and that would be totally fine. And then the ring, you're just going for the stat stick to get as much stat as you can out of it. Books are kind of nice for this. You really only need the passive. It'd be nice to get those, because I mean, taking that from 50 to 75% chance on every one of those procs is really going to help out. But just in terms of this context, you don't really need anything else. Like, you can even just have him spam the A1. It doesn't really matter. You're mainly just looking for the passive. So if you want to do the budget version of this, you slam a few books. Hopefully you get some good RNG and you hit this in like 4 or 5 books. That'd be great. And then if you wanted to stop there, you could, if you're just going to be using him mainly as a Scarab farmer. And it is definitely worth it to have a dedicated Scarab farmer that can do it in a reasonable time. None of us want to take 15-20 minutes to farm the Scarab every day times 10 with all of our silver keys. So it is worth books to get a good Scarab farmer up and running, because the untouchable set, which is going to drop from farming that boss, is very good. You're going to want to craft a few good sets of this for sure, because you're getting immunity for 2 turns, which is incredible in the arena, tag team arena, and you also get resistance on top of it. So it's like a buffed up immunity set that you see drop in the Fire Knight, and the immunity set is a super popular set. So the untouchable set is definitely a common one. You're going to want to be good at farming, which, as you can see here on the trusty set rankings tier list, you can find this, by the way, choflyelite.com, and down below in all my video information in the show notes and stuff on my vids. But yeah, up here at number 14, we have got the untouchable set. It is pretty close to S tier. Getting that debuff immunity for 2 turns, insane in the arena. You also get the 40 resistance, like I said. So yeah, definitely a set you're going to want to be good at farming. So now let's go ahead and walk you through what the clear looks like. So let's go ahead and pull up the footage that I've got recorded of the Scarab. So for the waves, it doesn't really matter. You just want to have something super fast that can like debuff their defense and then slam them down with nukers. You can do like Kymar, Seer, Trunda, Rotos, or just whatever your best nuker damage dealer is. You just want to slam through those waves as fast as possible, and then you get to the point where everybody else kind of falls down and is out of the fight, and then you just got your solo Urost here. Every time he gets hit, placing those poisons, and as long as he's sturdy enough with a good amount of HP and a decent amount of defense, as long as he can survive the fight, you are going to whittle down the Scarab super fast. You can see here, it's one of the more simpler solo strats. You know, you see sometimes where you've got very specific mechanics, or you need to lock out certain skills, or you need to hit insane numbers for both resistance and accuracy while also getting like 255 speed. But this one is not really like that. You just got to be tough and have enough accuracy so you land poisons when he gets hit. So it's super cool. And you can see here, it's just, yeah, you just sit here and whittle down the Scarab, because previously I was using a solo Vergis, which is definitely cool because he is an epic. So nothing wrong with building Vergis to do this as well. But it does require a different amount of stats, and it does take a lot longer. I think my solo Vergis that I was using to farm before I got Urost was, I think about 14 or 15 minutes on average. So I just basically like 300% increased my farming efficiency on the Scarab by going ahead and taking the time to book up and get my Urost fully invested in to be good at this farming location. So I mean, hey, I can actually spend my silver keys in a realistic time frame until they help us out with that and maybe give us some sort of super raid for Doom Tower keys or something, because it would really be nice to not have to spend, you know, 1 or 2 hours a day farming these Doom Tower bosses. So hopefully they address that, but that is a different topic for a different video. I just wanted to show you this run and kind of what it looks like as you're soloing. I think once you get it up and running, most people should be in between like 4 and 6 minutes, somewhere in there. It just kind of depends on the books and the amount of accuracy you have. Like the 75% to place instead of the 50 is going to make a big difference in your clear speed for sure. If I didn't have him booked, it would probably be around 6 minutes or so. So there we go, 442, and pretty simple. Bang, it is done. But okay, that's mostly going to cover what I wanted to get done in this video about the solo Scarab King strat for Urost. And don't forget to subscribe down below, because I am working on lots of graphics like this to help you play Raid as efficiently as possible, and they are resources you are not going to want to miss out on. Remember, down in the pinned comment, you can find access to this infographic to pull it up whenever you would like. So, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.